This episode of Gamebreaker is brought to you by Warby Parker. For free 3-day shipping, head on over to warbyparker.com/gamebreaker. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Gamebreaker episode 8 for February 20th, 2014. You're watching Gamebreaker TV, the top show on the internet, starring me, Gary Gannon from Gamebreaker TV. Joining me, as always, he's on the ones and twos, Mr. Pat Crane. Wow! What's up, Mr. Pat Crane? And joining us on the threes and fours, from Team Burn, Mr. Burn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lovely.
You know what it's
an amazing rack, don't I?
Sometimes it's like pre-show between shows, I do the over the top like radio announcer guy, and the chat room just wants more and more of it. They're just like, please keep doing that. Please keep doing that. I'm like, really? Is this like 1985? Like, I guess it's ironically funny, but it's kind of fun to do.
It's late. People are really, really wasted right now. Who knows what the internet is all about?
Apparently,
so.
I'm not wasted enough.
Right.
Give me a moment. I've actually thought about maybe doing a show like that where we just don't break that. You could do that, Pat. You're a radio. You're more of a radio guy than I am. You could kind of break into and Burn could totally do it because he's like a free. Look at yeah, that's Burn, by the way. Yep, that is Burn. You got a pretty nice rack on you there, Burn.
I do.
I'd hit it.
Wow.
I'd hit it before I hit the gnome model, so it works.
The dwarf model or the gnome model? Because the dwarf model
the dwarf model.
Way
Sorry.
out.
The three of us could do like some sick over-the-top show.
Hell
like
yeah.
1985. Everybody's doing lots
We can do a really sick show. Instead, we're going to do the Gamebreaker show.
Instead, we're going to talk about this. Boring stuff on the internet.
Right.
We could do like a Z Morning Zoo style show. They're just doing
a
lots
wacky
of,
morning show? Yeah.
Yeah, a
let's do
wacky
that.
morning show. They're all just doing cocaine and yelling. Everything's intense and nutty and lots of sound effects and bumpers.
Sounds like, actually, that kind of sounds like Convert to Raid now.
It kind of does. I was just going to say, it kind of sounds like CTR.
Minus the cocaine and the yelling.
Those days are over. You got the whole board. Yeah, you got the whole like board going with the sound effects.
Oh yeah.
Deal. He runs a tight ship over there.
We do it up. We do it up big.
You do. All right. The number one story of the week on the Gamebreaker.tv is something we're not going to talk about.
No. And why is that, Gary?
Because we talked about it for like an hour on Legendary this week. So the number one story was the World of Warcraft level 90 boost appears on live servers for a whopping $60. Bing, 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 bing. I'm making up my own sound effects. What? I couldn't get Burnsy's opinion on it. Actually, yeah, give me your opinion really quick, Burn. Like, Pat and I we just finished Legendary live, and we literally talked about it for like an hour. So I'm burnt out on talking about it. If you want to hear our opinion, watch Legendary. Burn, but what do you think? Level boost 90, $60?
Throw the number out there and see what the internet does with it.
You're going with the conspiracy theory? You're backing it?
Make the final call after there. To be honest, I don't care what they put on it. Just vote with your wallet. If you don't like it, don't freaking buy it, and then they will lower it because they need to.
Well, that's it. So here's the conspiracy theory: is they throw out the information on the internet for like a split second to then get some feedback and see how everybody reacts.
Right.
Pat takes it another level and says then they pull it back to the $50, which has probably always been their price point, and then Blizz is the good guy. Yes, I love Blizzard.
Right. That's what I'm going with.
Good guy Blizz listens to the community.
How much are we going to sell this for? Well, we're thinking $50. All right.
Good.
Tell the internet 60.
That's
they don't like that. We heard your feedback. 50 it is.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Come on, Burn. It's all sleight of hand.
Good guy approach.
You know this. It's all the pattern.
Misdirection, baby. It's misdirection.
Misdirection is like magic. Magic Man's a magic man. He understands this. Blizzard is like the ultimate magician. They got their patter down pat.
Yep.
I
don't have a problem with it. I hear the argument.
Would you pay 60? Would you pay 60?
I probably would not. No.
Out of your price range?
But it's out of my price range for what I'm getting. To me, I'll just jump in the game and grab a friend that wants to level an alt, and we'll go and do it. But I hear the argument that it's too much. Don't buy it. It's not a hard concept here. Don't buy it if it's not, and then Blizzard will change the price anyway because they're not selling them.
That's like bad advice though, because people can't adhere to that. That's like when we post.
Yeah, says the guy that gave Sony $100 2.5 months before he was able to access EverQuest Landmark.
Yeah, yeah, you can't do it. People can't resist. You know, we post like 10 hot pics of Olivia Munn, and then people complain about it, and it's like, just don't click it.
Right.
Simple.
You don't have to buy into it. No, you don't have to.
Nope.
And that's why I'm not planning on it at $60.
You know what you're buying? It's $60 for level 90? What? Yeah. Chatter's blowing you up?
Yeah, they are. They're saying if Burn won't buy it, it's doomed.
Oh, that's a good point. There's some scientific knowledge going on there. That's a good litmus test. If Burn doesn't buy it, you might be effed.
The price might be a little too high. $60 I would have to think about. 50 I probably would.
You're in, right?
I know that seems stupid. I mean, that's more expensive than expansion, but 50 I would do it. And Crane, I mean, you guys beat it on Legendary, but Crane said 2 for $100 or less, and your mind starts to think that's not such a bad price. When you want to buy 2 and it's over that $100 mark, that's when you're thinking this is a little too high. And I totally agree with you.
Right. Thank you.
I did say we weren't going to talk about this, didn't I?
Right. So let's not talk about it.
Just because Team Burn agrees once with Team Hurricane does not mean that the world is ending.
No, the world is pretty much ending.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
That's
okay.
That is a fact.
All right. The number 2 story this week, believe it or not, and I'm not making this up, is actually an ad for Gamebreaker. I'm not going to make it about an ad, but basically we have 20% off of Titanfall. And that was the number 2 story, was that we posted this and you get 20% off of Titanfall. But, so if you want it, there's where you can go. There's the URL to get 20% off. What do you guys think of Titanfall? Do you guys play it? I played it. I freaking loved it. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, but the beta's over and I'm having withdrawals. Like, I'm madly in love with it. I want to play more of this game.
I've got it on the Xbone still working. So
you're still in beta?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait, whoa.
It was working. It was working after the weekend. I haven't checked it in a couple of days.
I think it was yesterday. Yesterday at 6, I think it ended.
Oh, did it? Damn it.
Yep.
But I was having a lot of fun with it, and I know that a bunch of my friends were playing it too. And at first, everybody was like, "I'm not really sure what this game is," and then you get in and you start just playing, and it's amazing.
It's fast.
It's really
awesome. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it. So when it comes to FPS, I'm more of a Battlefield fan than a Call of Duty fan. I have to admit. Call of Duty, the really tight corridor stuff, and the really fast stuff. I'm an old man. My reflexes are slow. I like the big open sort of Battlefield style stuff with the big open maps and the longer gameplay. So I wasn't really sure going into Titanfall. I was like, wow, this looks really cool. And I like mechs. Mechs are always cool. I like sci-fi. Right. I'm kind of sick of the like war theme thing, but I wasn't really sure, especially with speed. As soon as I started playing it though, like after a few matches, I was like, wow, I'm really feeling this. Like the controls feel tight.
It was cool.
Burns, did you get to play it at all? You didn't get to play it at all.
I did. I'm not a huge first person. Yeah, I'm not a huge first person guy. I kind of take the attitude you do, where I want the big Battlefield experience and not the Call of Duty stuff. I don't get into those too much. This was one, and it's been a long time since I played a shooter like this. And I tried to put a thumbprint on what is it. It's fast, it's smooth, it's playing well, it's nice. Like, it doesn't do anything revolutionary. There's no absolutely mind-blowing, you have to play this game for this specific reason. But I just haven't had a first-person shooter in a long time.
Did you drop in and pull somebody out of their mech? Did you do that?
Yeah, but that's a novelty thing, and it's cool, but that's a novelty. But I could not tell you the last first-person shooter I played where after every match, I was just one more. All right, it's 3 in the morning.
Right.
I got to go to bed. Just one more.
Right.
Okay, no, really this time. Just one more. This is my last one. I'm falling asleep. Shit, I lost. Okay, just one more. Just one more. And
I just want to win before I go to bed. I just want to win.
It really hit it. It really hit it.
See, for me, FPS is like, you don't have to revolutionize, but I think it does so much different. I mean, wall running by itself feels so good. Like, and that's the thing about a good FPS is like, it's all about just coming down to like these like little tiny nuances of like, does this feel really good? I don't know. I'm asking everybody. I'm like, what's your beta? We only had a short couple days, and I didn't get enough time. Like, I didn't know the beta was going to be over. I didn't know the PC beta was ending. I kind of thought it was just open. I wasn't really paying attention to it. I didn't get enough time in. I was bummed when I found out that it was closing. I don't know. I'm wondering if Respawn's going to take back the helm, and could Titanfall become what Call of Duty has done, and as far as the multiplayer goes and how popular it is and streaming and the competitive nature? Could Titanfall take that over? I think they may be able to.
And one of the things, streams don't do this game justice, by the way. I watched a lot of streams before I played. Look at me, I got the Bob Dole thing going. Mike Burns says
streams don't do it justice. I tell you, they don't know.
It's very easy to watch a stream and go, okay, yeah, it looks great. Okay, play it. Just play the damn thing. The hype is well warranted in my book so far.
Yeah.
You have to play it. You have to feel it.
Yeah, you really do.
I can't believe like, the other follow-up story was like that people are like, thinking that Respawn is paying for all the hype. Like, no.
I wish they were.
It's Respawn. It's come on. If you are an FPS fan
that I wasn't aware of.
Yeah, really.
Right. Let me in on that. Come on.
It's the company who pretty much revolutionized the FPS to a point that became like a phenomenon, and like they're back with their new game. Like everybody's paying attention to it. I loved it. I can't wait to play it.
Yep, it's really cool.
Xbox or PC?
Really, really cool. I probably would go PC. Actually, after playing it on the Xbox, I probably would go PC.
Bird, you're all about PC.
I'm all about PC.
You're not gonna play
it. This one I'm getting on the Xbox.
Are you really?
Oh, we switched on this?
Yeah.
What?
How did you guys just switch?
I don't know.
Why did controller for a game like that?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of wonky.
I like the way the controller works. Although Justin JKK Kennedy was trying to figure out if there was a slight aim assist on it, and he couldn't quite get it tested to the point where he could say yes or no. So that's still something I want to look at. But to me, I'm not going to play this like competitively or anything like that. So to me, this is my kick back on the couch, zone out for a couple of hours, and do it. So it's Xbox One for me. I'll probably end up buying it for the PC too. But Xbox.
Now the truth comes out. Now the confession. Yeah, I'm gonna probably buy it for both. And,
you've never bought multiple versions before. You've never done that before.
Never. I may or may not be giving away XIV's copies this week.
There you go.
I have a couple Steam copies that I don't know how I got them.
Well, that was a big story this week, but the big story was the 20% off deal we have. So you guys should be checking out. Go to gamebreaker.tv/deals, DEALS. It's a new page that we launched where we just put video game deals. We've got hardware, PC games, and console games. Check it every day. There's updates every single day, and the Titanfall is on there for 20%. I'm 99% sure it's still valid. They change every day, so keep up on it, but that's a big deal. All right, next up on the list, watch this kid get to level 900, and it's been removed by user. The video's gone. What a buzzkill. What a buzzkill. What happened here? So this was the next largest story was watch this kid hit level 999 in Flappy Bird.
But apparently Pat Crane is embarrassed that he played it that long and took his video down.
Man, wonder why. Flappy Bird.
I'm up to 21.
21.
That's my high score. That's my high score. 21, baby.
You've got the Flappy Bird. You're the only one. Do you have Flappy Bird, Burn? Do you have it, Burn?
Oh, that's none of your damn business, sir.
Oh, hey.
My Flappy Bird is my own problem.
Right.
No, I don't do mobile gaming much at all.
No. Yeah.
Yes.
With your mobile gaming.
Oh, you play it on your you play it on your cell phone, Pat. How cute.
How
cute.
How rudimentary. All right, the video's gone, so that kind of sucks. You can't watch the video that we're talking about right now, which would have been a big deal. You could just look at this like static screen that says it's been removed by user. It's kind of fun.
That's good. That's good.
I wonder why they removed it. I wonder what happened. So he shoots a video of himself.
Candy Crush.
I know a lot of people saying fake. We don't know. What'd you say?
I like Burns. Burns has had a great theory.
Candy Crush is suing them.
Oh, probably. That might be the real deal.
They're suing everybody. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know if it was real. We don't know if it was fake. People are like, "Oh, it's fake. It's fake. It's fake." Who knows? I'm sure some kid may have done it.
I would think that it would be fake because I can't get over 21. Damn it. No, I can maybe see like I know people have done like 100 and I think 30 was something for somebody somewhere that I heard, but 999, man, that's impossible.
Mario came out at the end. Mario comes out at the end, and he actually doesn't beat Mario. I'm not joking. I'm being serious. No, I'm not even. I'm serious. No, I'm not lying. That's
It's all in the video that is now taken down.
Doesn't exist, so that kind of story is kind of totally irrelevant. But you guys chose it, so we talked about it. So we did our job. Good job, internet. All right, next largest story was it was a big one because this one just hit today.
Yeah.
Hit today, and it's already in the list, and I'm already talking about it. Is watch this video, or watch the Total Biscuit video that made devs so angry they had it removed from YouTube. So this news dropped, I guess, about a week or two ago that TB
we talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. Right? He had done a video, and it was a pretty negative review about this game called Guise of the Wolf. And he leans into it pretty hard. I don't think he's...
Pretty hard. He leaned into it like really, really well. I mean, he slammed everything from graphics to sound design to gameplay to everything. It was to the stealth mode that wasn't there. He was talking about stealth. The stealth mode in it was crouch. You crouch, and that's stealth mode.
Well, this is the thing, and this is something that I think now with YouTube and having like people like Total Biscuit rise to being like I mean he's one of the top people making videos on YouTube about video games. Yeah. Not necessarily affiliated with like any one like major website out there of an IGN or a Kotaku or Gamebreaker or any like he is himself. I think this type of thing scares the pants off of devs because he's kind of unrelenting, but he gets 300, 400, 500. I mean, let's see how many views this thing has at this point. It's probably I haven't checked it. I mean, it's 322,000 views on this video.
What was funny was that, like, in the first, like, minute of him talking, he was like, if you want to know what I think about this game, stay away from it, avoid it like the plague. Okay, now you can stop watching. But if you want to know why, continue watching. And it's like, well, I got to know why now. Come on.
In that classic voice. He's just like, for those of you that only watch these to find out if you should purchase it, no. Now, if you want to see something else, stay.
Right. If you want to see the horror of this game, please. How do
you guys feel about just like people on the internet, becoming commentators? I mean,
I feel pretty good about it, Gary. I feel pretty damn good about it.
We do the same shit. I mean,
I feel right, Brian. I feel right.
But now, so the big story was that the way YouTube works, which I'm sure a lot of people out there understand, but I'll explain it really quick, is that it gives the ability to hit copyright strikes on videos with it's a very, very simple process. Like, it literally click a button, it says, this is violating my copyright, their video instantly gets removed. So that's what happened about a week or two ago, was he put this video up, slammed it really hard, and the developers, and it was apparently, proven that it was the developers who pulled the video down, nuked it. It's back. You can now watch it.
Oh, yeah, there were tweets back and forth and emails that TB posted for everybody to read. It was really interesting. And here's the thing. I watched the video and like 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes in, I'm like, man, he's being really, really nitpicky here, and he's really killing this thing. Like when he was making fun of the sound right off the beginning, running across the bridge. I'm like, come on. I mean, TB, I'm a huge fan. What's going on here? But then when you start watching it longer and realize that he also had played it for like 2.5 hours to do the research, which that stream was a blast.
It was
and
even
as he
more.
starts picking it apart, you're like, this is totally warranted. Every step of this is warranted. He's not just bashing it for the sake of bashing it / entertainment.
Right. He did. It wasn't 2.5 hours. I think it was 6 hours of streaming that he did.
Jeez.
I think he only posted a portion of that. I'm not 100%.
Yeah, I saw the post, which was a portion.
Okay. So, but he said that he watched he played it for 6 hours for research and pulled all this stuff apart so that we could all kind of understand his problems with it. And it was very apparent, very, very apparent that this game was a big pile of poo.
So let me ask you then, what's your opinion? What is the big differentiator here between Total Biscuit making this video and giving it a bad review essentially and a low score, and another big website that we deem legitimate also giving it a bad score, like X Game? I mean, these websites, other video game journalists do give games bad reviews. It happens. That's right. What's the difference? What's the difference here? Like, why are people they're almost so enraged by this new form of commentator on the internet who they're like, oh, this sniveling kid sitting in his basement, like, what does he know? And this is not fair. But because this other journalist is associated with, this AAA company who's owned by some big media empire, they're completely legitimate. Like, that's what is the dividing line here?
I think you kind of said it already. It's that somebody is a journalism. It's journalism versus an opinion video, essentially, is what it is. Because when you have training in journalism, I graduated with a broadcast journalism degree myself. So you're trained how to write, how to ask questions, how to do all these different things. TB has learned along the way, and I'm not sure about his background, so I don't know if he has training or whatever, but he doesn't have the big company to back him up and say that he's a journalist. And I think when you're a journalist, that puts you into a different category, because you expect a little bit, not necessarily fairness, but a little bit more balance to your opinion. And it'll be well thought out. And not saying that TB's is not, because his opinion is
but
really
here's
well
the thing:
we've always
in the history, like, journalism now is like, we can go on this tangent, talk about like journalism for like an hour. Journalism today is not what it may have been back in the day, like if you're talking about like world news and politics. But at the same time,
back in the day, you mean like 20 years ago? Yeah,
back in the day.
I mean, even back then, it was so much better than it is now. But yeah, you're right.
But what I'm saying is that even back then, we had people who were just commentators and weren't journalists, but they were flavored. There were people on the radio talking about things, which is basically what they're doing and what we're doing. So
right.
I think the real big story here is the fact that, like, how fast and quickly you can be censored through the medium that you're sort of relying on. Regardless of whether he's being fair and balanced or not.
That's YouTube, though. I mean, that's a problem with YouTube. That's not a problem with journalism. It's not a problem with what other video commentators are doing online. That's just YouTube, man. And YouTube right now, we've talked about this before on this show, and it's a dicey proposition, right? So it's always kind of one of those things where you don't know what's going to be a copyright strike against you if a game developer decides that they either don't like you or they don't like what you said about their game.
You have decided to play in their playground. They hold the keys to the courts, and they've set it up like they're going to set it up. And all of us, including Gamebreaker, Total Biscuit, everybody on the internet talking about games or whatever you're talking about, runs the same risk that's been happening to him. We all kind of know it. It's a reality. Yep. It's something we have to deal with. I hope YouTube fixes this. I really, really, really do. It kind of goes both ways, though, because on the developer side, I am sure that they also see videos about games that they're like, this is completely not fair. Like, this is just completely not legitimate or fair in any way, shape, or form. And people are making sensationalist like videos to basically like try and get views that totally hurt us as a company. So that's what they're really afraid of.
However, if you encourage a lot of people to stream and to produce videos on your game, whatever it is, or your content, then you would hope that the majority of them would come to a similar conclusion, right? And so then those guys on the periphery, those guys would be like, "What are you talking about? This game is fun," or "What are you talking about? This game is lame." Doesn't really matter what the opinion is, but if they're off in the periphery somewhere, they're going to get ignored, and their cred is going to be diminished because they are not in line with other casters.
I think this new form of whatever you want to call it, I don't want to even call it journalism, commentating, entertainment, whatever you want to call it. I don't care what category it fits in. But at least in the video game space, I only think it's a good thing for consumers. Like to be able to watch,
right?
You know, I mean, this is what gamers do now is they don't necessarily just go straight to the one website and believe the review. They may go read the review, but then they probably immediately go hit YouTube and find out what 3-4 other people are actually thinking about the game as well before they make their decision. I think
exactly. There's so much competition, man. There's so much competition that consumers can't really they can't run the risk of buying a bad game unknown, especially, you know, for a AAA game. You're spending, you know, $50-$60, and that's no good if you all of a sudden, you know, come away with a really just, you know, buggy game, you know.
Can't get away with
Battlefield 4 a little bit.
You're not going to be able to get away with it. You can't get away with it anymore.
Those days sucked. I remember going to Far More Entertainment and renting a game for the weekend and taking it home, and it sucked ass, and your whole weekend was shot. Right. It was gone.
But that was it. But you didn't have the internet to kind of tell you beforehand that it sucked. You read something in PC Gamer, you were like, "Wow, this looks cool." Yeah, times have changed. Times have changed. Devs are going to have to understand this going into the game of making a game that, like, at some point, I think things are going to turn to the point. I think things are going to turn in the favor of possibly.
Yes, I think it doesn't need to turn in the favor of the caster, no matter what you say. But that's got to be coming from the devs. That can't be coming from YouTube. That can't be coming from the casters themselves. It has to be coming from the devs. And I think, you know, we've seen them, you know, enter social media a lot more over the last, you know, couple of years. That's been kind of the norm. And like roundtables, you know, the Twitch streams of roundtables. I mean, we've seen that for Heroes of the Storm and for you know, EQ Next Landmark and for all these other games that are being developed now. And so that's kind of becoming the standard. So I'll
tell you one thing. I'd love to know the story behind how the video got reinstated. I don't know that story. I'd love to know, like, actually what went on to actually get this thing back up, because it probably killed the developers to actually.
Let's get TB over here. Let's get him on here.
Hey, if you're watching.
That's the thing too. Like,
always welcome.
What possessed them on their side to go, we should shut this video down? Because it's just total Biscuit. He's probably not going to say anything. He'll just let it go away.
Mistake number one.
Like, why aren't they? Okay, Mike Byrne, he's got 400 YouTube subscribers, and he bashed our game. Copyright strike. This bitch ain't going to fight it. And you're right. I don't freaking care.
Right.
But it's TV. Like, yeah, he's going to let this go. Just put the claim in. That's fine.
Oh, I'm glad it got reinstated. I'm glad it's back up there. So that was another really huge story today. So if you guys want to watch the video, I'm sure you can go to his YouTube page. Of course, it's there. It's also on Gamebreaker as well. It's actually, I think, still at the top of the page. If you're looking for the video, just go to the homepage. He's still up there. The Cynical Brit up there on the top box, because that was a big, big, big story today. Check it out. Next up, I think I called it. I think I called this last week.
Yeah, you did.
I think we can call it pretty much every week.
I can almost guarantee that one of these posts are going to be in the Gamebreaker show every week. Yes, that's right. The next top story was 15 super hot Olivia Munn moments we will never forget. You know, how much credit you got to give her for doing stupid shit like this, though? Besides being hot, like, she's slapping a goddamn fish.
Yeah, I was gonna say this story stinks.
Hey, I say smack that bass.
Oh, hello.
I don't have my music cued today, but we'll just kind of go through this one. I don't know.
What? No 0 out of 10 bongos for you. No bongos.
Zero. No bongos for you, Mr. Byrne. Maybe we gotta put these.
I don't even know what the hell a bongo is. It's fine.
Here's a good story. This pick. This pick. Wait, ready? This pick that is a legitimate pick from a magazine that anyone can go to the store and buy when it came out. It's not like at all a pornographic magazine. Actually got our post removed from Facebook.
Wow.
That was that was our image on Facebook, and Facebook said, no, that goes against our terms of service, Gamebreaker.
And that will also get the video removed from YouTube. That's it.
Didn't do that.
It's
Olivia
too
Munn's
hot for the
high
internet.
heels have filed a copyright claim.
It's too hot for the internet, Gary. It's too hot.
Not this one where she was on national TV fixing her boob. That one's okay. Don't worry about it. That was national TV on a
totally
normal.
Cool.
That's totally cool. I'm always fascinated when people get offended by these things. Like all of these pictures are from like TV, they're from like magazines, TV, Gamebreaker. Oh my God, you guys are crazy. Oh, this was always a fun thing she used to do on the show, and she would lick like electronics. That's her licking a PS3.
Yeah.
Moments I'll never forget. The good old days of G4 and Olivia Munn.
Yeah, like her or not, she did a ton of hysterical stuff on Attack of the Show.
Look at it. I mean, just having fun. It's gaming. It's having. Yeah, how can you not have a little bit of fun with goddamn video games? We're not talking about world politics here, people.
Yep.
Like, we're talking about video games. Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's laugh a little bit. I think she embraced that. I loved her when she was on game. I thought she was awesome on G4. Like, here it is again.
I agree.
Like, there's just something ridiculous about a hot chick licking an iPhone. I'm okay with that.
Right.
The guys have nothing else to say. They're completely just. I'll leave
Just
you with
wondering
this
if
one.
Oh, hey.
I'll leave you with that one.
Bow, wow, 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 wow. Oh, I thought you were ending the show right there.
All right, internet.
I was just really no reason to go on, is there?
Yeah. If you guys want to see the rest of those picks, 15 super hot Olivia Munn moments we will never forget. Easily found on Gamebreaker, since it's like the top thing on the trending posts of Gamebreaker. Next up, what is up with this phenomenon? Like this is just mind blowing. The actual post was one of our feature writers. Great article. What can we learn from Twitch plays Pokemon? So this new phenomenon of Pokemon hits Twitch, and via the chat room giving commands actually controls the game. I haven't checked it. Somebody check it right now. How many people are watching the stream that stream right now? Because it was beating League of Legends as of like yesterday with like 100,000 people. I think we reported 100, over 100, 110, 120,000 people maybe playing the game.
Are you looking it up, Byrne?
Yes. There's also a bunch of other Twitch plays now.
What is this? Is it just like the unemployment rate is so goddamn high? Nobody's got nothing better to do, and like, when that bounces back, this will just go away. What is happening here?
Again, I think people are just wasted, Gary. I mean, it's
all about just getting high,
being wasted. Yeah,
smoking doobies, drinking, and just playing Twitch. 63,000 people. It's 10:30 at night on a Thursday night. They're playing an old ass game in black and white, which is just mayhem.
Twitch is also playing a number of JRPGs right now too, including the original Final Fantasy.
All right, so I should explain this story if people don't understand it. If you've missed this story, it's become a huge thing. They have figured out how to take the IRC chat of people inputting commands into the Twitch chat, like up, down, left, right, and interpret those to the actual game moves in the game. So literally, the chat room controls the character. I'll bring it up here. There's some people I'm watching in chat. I know people watching this are like, who doesn't know about this story? Because everybody knows about it. But I'm watching chat, and some people are like, what are they talking about? But what?
Yeah,
62?
It's really weird, man. It's one of those things where you look at it and you don't even know what you're looking at, because they're just like commands being thrown around all over the place.
So here it is. This is live. You're looking at it live. You're watching the Twitch chat on the right-hand side. I don't know what they're doing right now. They're figuring out, there comes an ad. They're figuring out, there's a new like democracy mode. But literally the chat room dictates how the character moves in the world and plays the game. And all of 90,000, 100,000 people are playing the game together. What the F is going on? It's a complete mayhem. Is it like a bunch of 10-year-olds with nothing to do, unemployment, getting high? What is it?
It's a snow day, Gary. It's a snow day here in Minnesota, and everybody's like, well, screw it. I'm not going to shovel right now because it's still coming down, so I might as well just hang out on the internet and wait for it.
Is this going away, though? Because like we saw this the first day, and I was like, oh, I thought this was really interesting, but now I'm like, this is here to stay.
This is growing, as Byrne was saying. I mean, now it's going to different games and. Ugh. They
figured out how to do Tetris. Now they're doing JRPGs. Like, they're doing all kinds of offshoots. This is amazing. Like, I mean, it's become almost like a meme, but it's like a thing. It's like a new thing.
Well, and it's kind of like how do you work together when you have 60,000 viewers all typing in commands? How do you actually make that work to any?
Well, that's why they came up with the democracy mode.
Well, but here's the thing that I have with it is it's an interesting social experiment, right? Can we get enough people to cooperate and achieve this thing? But now they've put the slow mode on 5 minutes, so it's like everything is so far behind that it's really just right now you might as well just have a random die roll decide which button to press, as far as I'm concerned, because there's no cohesion. The chat is so far behind what's actually being parsed that there's no way you can actually accomplish too much. See, we're just flipping through menus right now. I don't know. It was interesting when it started. I'm glad now that Twitch has kind of put it on its own little thing, because day 1 and day 2 made
breaking Twitch rough. This is breaking Twitch.
Yeah.
It's so big.
Yeah.
Who does anybody know? I don't know this. Does anybody know the backstory of where this came from? Like, who has done this? Is this Twitch? Is this just some random person? Like, I'm going to watch for chat room. Somebody's got to know this answer because I want to know. Because whoever it is, they're making bank. That's all I know. Because the amount of ads that are being delivered through Twitch on an automated game that they don't have to do anything 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that they just like, hey, I'm just sitting back. Damn.
There's no ads.
Oh, there's no ads? Then maybe it's Twitch.
Nope. Yeah, if you look, like the author has a full write-up of questions on the actual Twitch page. Like why he's doing it, what the whole point of the new democracy mode is, and all the backstory and the code and all that stuff there.
So they're incredibly
but there's
stupid.
No ads. So there's no ads because there's a good reason. The channel allows subscribers. The channel allows subscribers, and the author did not want ads to interfere and give subscribers an advantage on how many commands they were allowed to put in because they weren't seeing the ads. Wanted everybody to have equal opportunity to throw commands into the chat.
All right, Mr. Good Guy. Time to go to business school. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, Chatty. I mean, he's getting paid on the pre-roll ad, but during the actual stream itself, there's no ads.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. Even if it's just a pre-roll ad of like when you hit the channel, if there's an ad there, that's enough. That's enough. This is running 24/7 with 60 to 100,000 people all day, every day, and he's doing nothing. He's probably going to buy an island pretty soon. That's what I'm pretty sure that's what he's going to do.
Awesome.
Now everybody is going to go try and figure out how to replicate this and make this. And that's what you're seeing.
And that's why
you're seeing this, is because there's a lot of people going like, "Oh my God, that's a lot of money."
We've seen this before too, though. I mean, this isn't the first. Yeah, this isn't the first. I remember a while ago, this is just the first on this kind of scale. I remember a while ago seeing a Super Mario Brothers one, where it was just the original NES Super Mario Brothers. Nothing got accomplished because Mario just kept running down into holes. Nobody could get it to jump at the right time to actually do too much. But we've seen this type of program parse things out and execute the game, just nowhere near the scale.
How did it work with Pokemon? It just took off.
Yeah, well, and when was the Mario thing?
Oh, that's got to have been maybe a year ago, 10 months ago. That's when I saw it. So who knows when it actually started?
Like I'm gonna sound completely old for a second, but really, like I'm watching this, And my brain cannot understand how you would sit here and do this for like any length of time. I would just go fucking play Pokemon.
Right. This doesn't make much sense to me either.
Like, look what's happening. It's just, look at the character. It's just, it is moving. I don't get it.
Which is good.
Is this? Am I just too old? Am I too old to not get this? Is just a bunch of 11-year-olds just like totally like just loving every minute of it? I don't get. Chat room's kind of agreeing with me. Most people I seem like don't really get it. I know Pokemon is a phenomenon, but this just seems like on another level. This is like beyond ADD.
Yeah, it's basically it's just taking a guy. Here, why don't you do this? Why don't you just walk up to this brick wall and just run into it a bunch of times? That's what it's like for me, you know. Just go ahead, walk up to a brick wall, run into it a few times, and just keep doing that for 24/7. Just go.
Chad is speculating that Shaftnet had to take a break, and all of a sudden somebody's making a fortune with this. It's not a coincidence.
Right.
Shaftnet is buying an island.
Shaft is buying. Like we just talked for about, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 minutes. I've watched this character just walk into like walls and in circles and do nothing except open up that menu once in a while.
Yep.
I don't understand it. I'm fascinated by it. I think it's super interesting. I'm beside myself. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm not supposed to know. Maybe we're not supposed to know. Team Burn is not supposed to know this. All right, we got a few more stories to talk about. First, I want to tell you about our sponsor, Warby Parker. Super excited to talk about Warby Parker. What they do is they make eyeglassware. And I'm not just talking about any eyeglassware. I'm talking about high quality prescription glasses and sunglasses. I'm mostly excited about the prescription glasses, to be honest, because I just got fitted for prescription glasses over the holiday break. And I actually hated the experience. I couldn't stand it. I got the whole test done, but then the whole concept, just buying them, I didn't like any of them in the store. The salesman was being insanely pushy. It was really just kind of like a nightmare. And I wanted to leave, and she just wouldn't let me leave. And I ended up buying a pair of glasses. These are them. They were incredibly expensive. They're incredibly cheaply made. They're literally like just crap. These things cost me like $350 with lenses, and I got like none of the extra coatings or any of the cool stuff. And then along comes Warby Parker. So let me explain this. Maybe Byrne wants to explain it to you. I'm not sure because he's kind of a fan as well. Byrne.
He can't talk right now.
If I move, they'll fall.
So here's how it works, peeps. So this is what you do. You go to warbyparker.com/gamebreaker. You sign up, you make an account. Use that URL, warbyparker.com/gamebreaker. That's what you want to use. You go over there, you start looking through the website. They've got tons men's, women's glasses, all different shapes, all different sizes for different heads and things like that. You can even take a picture of yourself, of your webcam, and try all of these on virtually on your screen to try and figure out which ones you like. Then you choose 5 pair. You pick 5 pair out, and they go into a queue, basically. You pick the 5 pair that you actually like. And I know you're thinking, like, I want to try on glasses. I'm not buying glasses over the internet, but I'll try them. They send you a box in the mail with all 5 pairs called the Home Try-On Kit. They send you all 5 pair in the mail, and you get to keep the box. They're clear glasses, but you get to, wear them and see how they fit, see how they feel on your head, maybe with your headset, things like that, which ones you like in real life. You finally, you pick the pair you like. You send this box back to them, which I didn't mention. You don't pay for the shipping to you on this box, and they also send you a return label so you can ship it back to them and not pay anything. You pick which pair you like. You tell them your prescription, and then they send you your prescription glasses. Now, a couple cool other things. First off, the quality of these glasses are great. They just absolutely blow the pair. I paid almost 4 times the cost of these. These are great. They start at $95. Most of them are $95. That's with your prescription lenses and coatings and all that stuff. That is with the lenses, which I know people in chat room, every time I talk about this, they're just like, that's insane. My glasses are like $400 or $500. Yes, I know.
Right. That is insane.
It is
insane. That's awesome.
Someday I'm going to tell this story about how there's a whole like crazy, almost mafia-esque like way about the glass companies. There's a very few people who control how they make glasses. That's why they keep the prices very high. Warby's figured out how to keep it low. Anyway, story for another day. You tell them which glasses you want. You tell them your prescription. They then send you your prescription glasses. Like I said, they start at $95 and they're really great quality. And using warbyparker.com/gamebreaker, by using that URL, this is not available on their website. You got to use that URL. You're going to get free 3-day shipping on your prescription glasses back to you. So that is a deal only available to Gamebreaker peeps. If that wasn't enough, the kicker for me, why I love Warby Parker so much, is every pair of glasses that they sell, for every pair that you buy, one pair, they give a pair to somebody in the world in need who cannot afford glasses. And that is awesome. I love that. They've given away over 500,000 pair, I think, at this point. I don't know. The number keeps rising. I can't keep track. They keep giving so many away. So check it out today. Love, love, love the warbyparker.com. Go check it out. They have sunglasses. They even have a monocle. Yep. They even have a monocle. So check them out today. warbyparker.com/gamebreaker. All right. Next up on the list. 15 super hot moments. No, wrong one. Sorry.
No, not that one.
Wait a minute.
That looks very familiar.
Not Twitch. This one here.
There, that one.
Twitch plays Gamebreaker.
Yes. That'd be really interesting. That's a whole new phenomenon too. All these people are now like real life things. I don't even want to talk about that right now.
Then we're going to see Twitch plays Gamebreaker.
I'm not doing
there
it.
You
No.
go. That's the next way to inceptionize it. That's right.
Twitch plays Inception.
So check this out. Electronic Arts, love them, hate them. EA, you can only rate our Dungeon Keeper app if you give it a perfect rating. So, who wants to take
Seems
this?
Guys of the Wolf should have probably invested in a similar program. Maybe they wouldn't have had to take TB videos down.
It's kind of interesting. So the long and the short of it here is, I'm going to read this little quote here on the block quote. It says, on Android, you're given the option to rate Dungeon Keeper. This is the new Dungeon Keeper, which is on iOS devices and Android. A lot of you old school RPG fans might be Dungeon Keeper fans. I know Burn is big time.
And we talked about it on this show, how bad this was.
Yeah. So this just keeps going on. So they say on Android, you're given the option to rate Dungeon Keeper after a certain period of time. Only instead of tapping the appropriate number of stars you think it deserves, you're asked if you think it should receive 1 to 4 stars or 5 stars. Those are the options.
Oh, keep going. Keep going. That gets worse.
Right.
It does. It gets worse. So Pocket Gamer, selecting the latter option takes you to the game's Google Play Store, where you can rate it. Right?
Where you
so
can
click
actually
5.
rate it.
You click 5.
Right.
It takes you to the store where you can actually then rate it. If you click the 1 to 4, it simply takes you to a feedback prompt asking, what would it take to make Dungeon Keeper a 5-star game? Your options are email us or not now. That's it. That's it.
There are no problems with this method of doing things whatsoever, Gary. There are no problems whatsoever.
Talk about just like shady, like slimy tactics. Like, I'm not an EA hater. I know like Gamer like does this whole thing and like Gamer, like I like, there's certain, there are some EA games I really like. I'm not like, I just hate everything EA does. I don't. I like some of their games. They're big, huge. I'm not getting into it, but it's not like I'm just like some EA hater. I'm not on that bandwagon. But this is unbelievably slimy. Like this is gross.
Well, and I think I'm on board with you. I don't hate EA games, but the way that they do things is really not cool with me. The games are fine. They are what they are. But the policies that they have at the company seem to be a little, I don't know.
Now, Burn,
menacing.
you and I talked about this and talked about how
Ironically, the app only has a 4-star rating at the moment.
Oh, funny.
Well,
I mean, we talked about how we thought that like Dungeon Keeper was probably a really bad choice for them in general, just to make this type of game, because in and of itself, it's not a terrible game, and it's in and of the model that it's put forward with on a mobile device. It's not like we haven't seen this business model before, so it's not like this has come out of nowhere where it's like it's a business model we've seen in a lot of other games that people are completely okay with. The fact of the matter is people are upset with it because all the people who bought the game were Dungeon Keeper fans of the PC version who had an expectation of what the game would be, and now they get this version. They're like, this is not Dungeon Keeper whatsoever, and they're not the target market at all of who wants to buy this kind of game. We went through all that, and I think we're all in agreement that it was like, but now, wow, to just sit around and just be like, nope, just don't even let the public voice their opinion. It's either 5-star or go fill out a form.
Yeah, and Chad is saying, you know, not trying to defend them, but you can rate it anything you want. You just have to jump through that hoop to get there. Well, yes, you either have to go to the Google App Store manually to rate it just because you want to rate it, or if you use the in-game menu, you have to say that you're going to rate it a 5 to get the chance to go and rate it a 1. So it's not really making them jump through a hoop. It's deceitful. It's downright deceitful.
Right.
Yeah. It's terrible.
And in response, GOG.com made the original Dungeon Keeper free for a little while. So that was
good press
cool.
for them. Yes, it was.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Yeah. This is not good, guys. This is not good.
There's no regulations around this other than that, you know, just don't, this is bad. So, I don't know, everybody's up in arms. I just hope this story goes away. Anyway.
Yeah.
Last up this week. Wow. I shouldn't see. I had this story in the show. I'm afraid now because it's like we've already done this show for like an hour, and I had this story and I thought I was doing the story.
We still have Twemo tomorrow.
I thought I was only doing the show with Pat Crane. I was like, wow, this will be a quick one. We won't talk about it much. But now I got Burn here, and it's like,
thanks, Gary. Gary's like, so Burn, who doesn't shut the fuck up.
No, because I know you. No, because no. It's two things. Is that the Gamebreaker people have been tweeting at me like for days. So the next biggest story on Gamebreaker for the week was that the Elder Scrolls Online NDA has been lifted, and people can now talk about Elder Scrolls Online. And we've been talking about Elder Scrolls Online to the extent that we could on This Week in MMO, but we've been kind of, skirting around stuff and not being able to talk about it. So now we are. How are we going to do this? Burn, we got to keep this to a minimum. But I know tomorrow for a fact on This Week in MMO, this is all we are talking about. This is pretty much it. This is This Week in MMO tomorrow. So, and I want Pat's opinion as well. Pat, did you play it?
Yeah, I played it a little bit. And, for me, just being a WoW guy,
you play
doesn't
WoW?
Maybe. No, but it doesn't really move the needle that much for me. So, while I may like the art or whatever, it just feels very familiar and stuff like that. So it didn't really move the needle for me all that much. And I'm super invested in WoW, so it's tough for me to say, oh, this game is amazing and awesome.
So let's do like an overall. Let's do an overall glaze without getting into it.
If you don't buy $190, you now can afford the game, Pat.
Well, that's true. That's true.
And
that's
have
true,
money left over with one of the links that we have.
Right. Exactly.
Thanks, Burn.
No, but I mean, it's just gonna be one of those things for me where it's
segue
a cool
like
game.
A mouse.
It's a cool game, but yeah.
All right, Burn. You're allowed to I know. So we're gonna like I said, we're gonna get into this in depth tomorrow.
On the Twemos.
Give me your your 2-3 minute.
Okay, I think it captures the spirit as far as the environment, the look, the feel of the game of an Elder Scrolls game. I think they did that well in the brief stuff that I've seen so far. Obviously, is it as pretty as an Elder Scrolls game? No, and that's a tech issue. It's not going to be that pretty. From a gameplay,
I've got a theory on that.
From a gameplay perspective. Okay, go ahead.
You want to talk about that in general?
Yeah, we'll talk about that first.
Well, because a lot of people are talking about graphics. People think I'm crazy for this idea. They think I'm nuts. So I've heard more than one person go, "Oh, it doesn't look as good as Skyrim." Blah blah blah. Right? People are gonna think I'm crazy. I think my gut. I know nothing. They've said they're going to embrace add-ons and mods extensively. I believe they will actually embrace even graphical mods like Skyrim.
No.
Yes.
I don't know if I can go with you on that.
It is, if
you're not talking about opening up API at that point.
No, you're talking about like creating 4K textures and things like that, just like in Skyrim. Now, if they want to embrace the longevity of this game, if they look at the history of Elder Scrolls, and they look at Skyrim and why people still play it to this day, like beyond belief, people are still playing Skyrim. The number one, beyond without a doubt, the number one mods for that game are graphical related. The 4K textures, the climate changes, the realistic lanterns, the realistic lighting ones. All those are like the number one downloads on Skyrim Nexus. I am going to say I think they are going to embrace that, and I think they are going to allow that, which would give this game so much longevity. I know you think I'm crazy because no MMO has ever done it. No MMO has ever done it.
You're right.
Everybody
no
in the
MMO's
chat
ever
room,
done it, and that's because modding is
saying,
usually Lua, and that's it.
Everybody in the chat room is saying no.
Yeah, I don't think I could go with you because
you're saying no because you've never seen it done before.
Yeah, but
if they wouldn't do it,
being able to change textures and things like that, then you're also talking about being able to actually insert visual pieces of art, aka time to penis. It would happen.
No. Texture work would all be client side. Texture work is client side. It's in your client. If you replace that rock texture with like an awesome 4K texture model, that's pulling it off of your hard drive and putting it through your GPU. I don't see that texture if I don't.
I'm not denying that it would be awesome, right? It would be really,
it'd be amazing.
Really awesome.
Like it would be something that would keep people playing this game for so long. I think if they want to fully embrace it, they would do it. It sounds crazy. I know. I brought it up to a couple developer friends. And I was like, is this possible? And they're like, yeah, like, I guess it's possible. Like, I don't see why they couldn't do it. They would have to take some pretty strong measures with things like security and things like that, with how the client works and like, just security. But it's not like I think it can be done. I think it would be the smartest thing they could do.
I can't go with it though, because the PvP is going to be really impacted by Pat having a better visual representation of the world and being able to see things than I am as another player. That impacts the gameplay.
And making
it's
sure
not just visual when you do that.
And making sure that every texture has a penis on it. That's the whole thing.
Right.
But again, if the texture's on your end, so what you're seeing could possibly be just your side. Like the other players are not seeing that. So if you're a PvPer, you probably wouldn't want to load up your 4K textures if it was more taxing on your computer, because nobody else is seeing them but you. So like in most PvP games, hardcore PvPers drop everything to low anyway, so they don't see anything. Get rid of the grass, get rid of the obstacle, get rid of everything, because that's like the fastest I'm going to get a frame rate. Again, if you put it up to 4K, I would see it. You wouldn't see it. I don't know. All right, we're gonna.
It's super cool, but I don't think they're doing it.
I think they'd be good. All right. I sidetracked and said we weren't going to get into. There's so many little things now we can get into and talk about.
Okay, so that was like 2 minutes on 2-3 minutes on the graphics. So 2 or 3 minutes on the gameplay. Then, in general, to me, it's run of the mill. It is typically, or it is very generic, and that's one of the words we keep hearing over and over and over again on the reviews. Is it's generic. There's questing, okay, fine. Exploration, not as much there yet, but again, starting areas. The one thing that I will say is the grouping is a little funky when you're doing quests. And Gary, you and I spent a good amount of time farting around with that, trying to see what does it look like if you and I are trying to quest together.
My number one concern with the game is that. My number one concern is that.
Intuitive.
It's odd. It's strange.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's off-putting. It's confusing. There's a moment of confusion where you're just like, what's happening? Where are you? And you'll see some videos out there, even like you'll be like, hey, can you help me? And you'll be like, where are you in the world? And you'll actually even see like the marker in the world, and you're like, I'm there. You're not there.
But no character
weird.
Model.
It's a little weird. It's a little funky. So again, we're going to talk about this a lot more tomorrow. I agree with everything everybody's saying. It's kind of hit me in a way though that like I got really sort of like I don't want to say addicted to it, but I have not played an MMO in a beta that made me want to keep logging in through the entire weekend, where I didn't want to do anything else except kind of hang out and just play this game. And it did that to me.
And I really want to get to like 12 or 15, because we keep hearing now that from people and media outlets, Game Informer and other ones, that when you get there to that, once you're off those starting couple of islands, that, okay, wow, now you have something a little bit special here and a little bit unique. This is what should have done. I don't think ZeniMax is doing themselves any favors, because the starting stuff is boring. It's just general run-of-the-mill.
And I generally, I hope I'm, actually, if any of the ZeniMax people watch this, I'd love to set up an interview. And that's not the most professional way to do it, but I'm just throwing it out there right now, because I do want to. I have a couple of questions. I want to. There's got to be some reasons, but I really like to know. I don't understand. Again, everybody's talking about those 2 starter islands that you go to, and they're kind of small and cramped and things like that. And yeah, I don't fully understand why they're doing that. Is there a major reason? Because the 2 things I would ask is those starter areas, which I particularly didn't find super boring, but I didn't find super interesting. I didn't fall in love with them.
Generic.
And be oh wow, they're great. But
generic.
If you're coming from Skyrim, at least, which I think most players at least are, it's just a little bit odd, because it's not what you're expecting. And this is the problem with the game, is it's an MMO. It is full on an MMORPG. And coming from Skyrim, so this is what I did, and we'll talk about this more tomorrow, but on the last beta test, I was literally jumping back and forth, playing an hour of ESO, and literally go play an hour of Skyrim, and go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I was kind of doing it as a test, being how does this feel? What are the differences? And I can see why, people are going to always be, and this is the problem the developers face, is that they're going to run into these comparisons forever. It's not going to stop. What the franchise is to gamers is just so ingrained, we're used to certain things, and not all those things can be done in an MMORPG. So I think they've done something different. That being said, I don't know. I think they're actually doing something kind of cool here. And I think a lot of the early previews that we saw in the videos talking about the openness of the game, I think I will say opens up a lot more than most of these people have seen. It does change.
I can't wait for my collector's edition.
Why it doesn't happen that early is what I don't know. So
they didn't do themselves any favors with the starting zones.
But I gotta say, and again, I have different mixed feelings about the different factions, between the 3 factions and the storylines. But there's one in particular, we'll talk about it tomorrow. I fell in love with the storyline immediately, and I thought it was really Side note, I think for people who want to click through quests and don't read anything or listen to the dialogue, you're gonna hate it.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
For people who want the story and kind of go on the journey, you could fall in love with it. And I fell in love with one of the storylines. The other 2 were meh, but they weren't terrible. But I fell in love with one of them, and I was all in. I was all in. But I was literally reading everything and getting into the story. I think they brought back that RPG element that a lot of games don't have anymore. But it's definitely not just a click-through quest game.
And coming from WoW, that's very unfortunate, because that's all I do when I'm leveling.
Well, that's the big question. That's the big conversation I've been having with a lot of friends is, I think what they've done is actually kind of cool. The big question is, have they done something that people really want?
Right.
That's the question. I don't know.
That is the question.
Mike Byrne. Oh, you're not Olivia Grace. I don't know if you're lower third because you came in late. I'm not playing a cat. I don't know what that is, but it's really weird. Mike Byrne, follow him on Twitter at MagicMan, MIGICKMANN1, and show up to Twemo tomorrow, where we'll talk about Elder Scrolls Online in a lot more depth.
And it's extra special half-hour early time.
Oh, crap, that's right. Thank you for reminding me. Pat Gray, follow him on Twitter at Pat Gray. Go to convertraid.com. Watch Legendary, Convert to Raid, all that good stuff.
Yep.
He's not on Twemo tomorrow.
All that good stuff. No, I'm not.
He's got to go shovel snow.
Yep.
All right, we do the show live every Thursday after Legendary, the World of Warcraft show. It starts at around 9. Come on over for the live show. It's a lot of fun. And that's it. We'll do some more Gamebreaker next week. Have a great week. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.